Happy Monday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, even leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by the Deefin Beef himself, Shane Diefenbach.
Yes, I am.
You can find Shawn DePaz vibing in the chat at home like a sick little boy with a cold. Tragic.
Yeah, somebody needs to do a welfare check on him, I think.
Isn't it just it's a wellness check, not a welfare check, right?
Sure.
Right? Welfare is something completely different.
Yeah, sure.
Wellness. There we go. Hell of a weekend for us and for Arizona State Athletics.
For us?
I mean, we went golfing. We had a good time golfing.
Yeah, that's true. We did have fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Shut up, Shawn.
Shout out Dobson Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
It was, if you haven't been out there, check it out. It is literally so much fun, whether you want to play a full 18 or 9, or if you just want to hang out there. The vibes are great at Dobson Ranch. Got a little color this weekend, which is nice because I'm usually a pale little boy. So glad I could get red, I guess. It wasn't, red's the right word, right? Right color.
You don't tan?
Pink. Huh?
You don't tan?
I get red and then give it like 2 days and then it'll be tan. Do you get tan like immediately?
Yeah, I mean, Italian skin.
You're just built.
I'm just a beautiful specimen. I thought, this being
this,
your roots.
I
thought it would translate into darker skin.
Yeah, you'd think so. Unlucky.
Maybe we need it. They're banging on Shawn's door now, apparently, Phoenix PD.
Oh, that's crazy. Let's get into all of the dubs from this weekend because we got a lot to get to for Arizona State Athletics. Let's start with the ball and bat sports because my goodness, starting with ASU softball, they went 4-1 this past weekend. Obviously, they had that one initial loss to BYU, but from that point on, it was all wins. They're 8-2 now to start the year. It's a better start to the season through 10 games than this team had last season, which says a lot considering they're with a first-year head coach. And there's a lot of players in my mind that I think have stepped up already that you may have not expected to.
Yeah, I mean, look, coming into I think if you looked at this roster in a vacuum without knowing what we knew happened over the transfer portal and since last year, you'd be like, yeah, this is what I expected from this team. But being what it is with how much they lost last year, from their, ace starting pitcher to arguably one of the best power hitters in the country in Sidney Sanders, you expect a drop-off. But when the drop-off is from almost title contenders to really, really good, you don't really notice it at the start of the year. We'll see if this can continue, but yeah, there's been a lot of players, as you said, that have stepped up that you were expecting them to contribute, but in the ways they have been right now with like an OPS of 1.731, I mean, they're hitting for average, they're hitting for power, and it's fun. It's so fun.
Offensively, it's kind of crazy. 4 players batting above 400 right now. You look specifically at Jordyn VanHook, tied for first in the nation in home runs with 6, which is saying something considering you look at some of the giants, not only in the Pac-12, but across the country, specifically looking at like UCLA right now, right? They overtook Oklahoma as the number 1 team in the nation. So to have somebody of that caliber in Jordyn VanHook, that's without even talking about Yanni Acuna, Jazz Hill, who I want to say Yanni has 4 home runs already. So she's almost at the 6 that VanHook's at. And then Jazz has half of that in 3. So it's a very promising start. Again, ASU needs to rack up these wins in non-conference play because we know how good of a softball conference the Pac-12 is.
Wagon.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And again, UCLA, you're going to see them a couple times this season, like getting as many wins as you possibly can before you have to have some 3-game series with them is going to be huge down the stretch. So before we want to move on to baseball, we've got ASU softball has, Loyola Marymount coming up next in about 4 days from now. From your perspective, looking just, let's say, at their next 10 games, right? So you're looking at this in 10-game splits. I believe last year's team went either 42-11 or 43-11, which is just ridiculous. But looking at their next 10 games, right, before you get to conference play, how many of these do you feel like they should win, and you'd like them to win, obviously, before they get to conference play, starting with Arizona?
Oh, I mean, I want them to win all 10. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, look, Loyola Marymount has this. Bethune-Cookman, they've got, I'm going to be honest and transparent. I don't know the landscape of college softball when it gets outside of the Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac-10. It's the Pac-10. So I don't know how many they should win, but with the way they are performing right now,
another 8-2 sounds good.
Yeah, another 8-2 sounds just fine.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the next 10 that they have, they've got the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic coming up this coming week in California. They were obviously there just a couple weeks ago in San Diego. They've got Loyola Marymount. Portland State's on deck, UC San Diego, Long Beach State, New Mexico the following week at the Sun Devil Classic, Charlotte, Michigan State, Boise State, Houston. Right now, ASU softball is on par or better than all of these teams. They're not facing a team in the next 10 games that is of the same caliber or better than them. So in theory, they should win all 10, but it is a ball and bat sport, so you never really know who could go crazy. I would say another 8-2 stretch sounds about right. Starting the year, going into conference play 16-4 with a 3-game series against U of A at home. I mean, I think that's about all you can ask for, to be honest with you. So we'll see what transpires with them, but definitely a tip of the cap to Megan Bartlett and what she's been able to do with this softball program. And just, it feels like a few short months at the helm. So definitely exciting. Moving on to ASU baseball, they had themselves a hell of a weekend too. Their season opener against SDSU, they went 3-0. They do have a game against UNLV on Tuesday. The starters looked absolutely phenomenal. Before we get into just individual players, how big do you think, or how important has it been for ASU baseball, Willie Bloomquist, to just start the season with a series sweep?
I mean, it's massive when it comes to the confidence in a coach in his second year, and just getting his own guys to start performing. There's been a lot of talk about this bullpen, and for good reason. I mean, I think it was their last win. I don't know who came in for relief or close, but they gave up a leadoff triple, and they left him there. And they got out of that jam. And that's exactly the kind of chaos ASU baseball needs. So, yeah, I mean, it's massive to start with a series sweep, not only just over some scrums, but your potential Pac-12 replacement in San Diego State.
Absolutely. I tweeted it out about an hour ago. Just taking a look at the last 5 seasons for ASU baseball and how many games it took them to actually secure a 3-game series sweep. So in 2019, it took them 3 games. 2020, it took them 4 games. 2021 took them 10. Last season, year 1 under Willie, it took them a whole 17 games to get the job done.
Yeah.
And in 2023, just year 2 of Willie Bloomquist, took 3 games that first series. So that is absolutely massive, just to build on that, get some confidence going into non-conference play and just the season in general. And you talk about the way this team pitched, right? We'll get into the bullpen because for me, that is still a little bit of a question mark. But you couldn't ask for anything more from the starters, right? Christian Curtis, Ross Dunn, Timmy Manning. Those are the guys that started on the mound this weekend for ASU against SDSU. They combined for 13.1 innings pitched, no runs allowed. That is phenomenal from guys that weren't here. None of them were here last season.
I was just about to say the portal punch outs.
Like that for me, a lot goes into the transfer portal. And you specifically look at ASU basketball or ASU football and the players that they were able to get last year and this year, even in the transfer portal. It feels like sometimes it takes a little bit of time for transfers in those sports to just, whether it be get synergy or chemistry at all. For ASU baseball, that wasn't the case. Like it was immediate. Their very first series, they were able to get some dubs. And that is huge, again, for Willie, for the program, and with the current landscape of college sports, to see that these guys transferred and had immediate success, I think goes a long way. So, and then offensively, Wyatt Crenshaw, Luke Hill, both batting above 500 or 500 or better. The offense looks great. It's not the offense from a couple years ago where they're scoring like 20 runs, but
it can be.
It goes hand in hand with the way that this team pitched. I think this is going to be a scary team down the stretch.
Yeah, you just got to hope that the starting pitching remains reliable. And if somebody gets knocked out early in the game and you have to go to that bullpen, we haven't really seen that yet.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a game where you have to go.
The bullpen's been terrible over the last 5 years. Like that to me is the key.
Yeah. But we haven't seen that yet with this year's team. We haven't seen them need to go deep into the bullpen.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see them.
No, I know, not at all. But yeah, I mean, they're fun, and I know we say this all the time, but get out to these games. I know that the women aren't going to be back for a while.
Son of a Classic, I want to say
it's March 3rd.
Okay, yeah,
but that's but I think that's Pac-12 tournament time too. No,
the following week is Pac-12 tournament for basketball.
So get out to that March 3rd. Club Farrington is a blast, and also Phoenix Muni is a blast as well. When's their next home game?
ASU baseball?
Yeah.
Are they on the road against UNLV tomorrow, or are they at home? Let me check for you. I think
they're
at home against UNLV, and then they're on the road against Mississippi State.
So tomorrow, go get your tickies.
They're tickies. You got anything better to do on a Tuesday night? Like, come on now.
No.
Come on, go see him. That's why I was thinking you had a UNLV shirt on earlier. Is because I had just looked at the baseball schedule. Colors are similar.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. In the what's it called? The font of the UNLV logo.
$9 tickets tomorrow. Section 9, row 5. Buy that ticket right now. I'll come find you.
Are you going?
That's my day off, so I probably want to stay away from everything sports related. But
go check.
You should go.
Yeah, and it'd be massive to start the season 4-0. Obviously, Mississippi State is no what's it called? No gimme game.
Yeah,
or gimme series at the end of the week. So you definitely want to pick up as many wins as you can. And we talked about it with ASU softball, right? But baseball is big in this conference as well, right? So getting as many wins as you possibly can before you've got to go face some serious competition in the Pac-12, the Pac-10, whatever you want to call it, is going to be huge. Before we move on from the ball and bat sports, Megan Bartlett, Willie Bloomquist, which team do you have more faith in as it stands right now?
That's so tough, man. I'm going to say...
And it's still early in both seasons.
Yeah. I'm going to say softball just because of a bigger sample size.
Okay.
And again, we haven't seen the true kryptonite that can be with ASU baseball. I have so much fun at Farrington too. I really want them to be good. So I'm going to say softball.
Okay. I'm going to go. I like the sample size reasoning for softball. I'm going to go with ASU baseball. Simply because I think they have a better rotation of starting pitchers than ASU softball does.
Yeah, it's so different too, though. But I mean, for sure they do.
When those guys are pitching the way they did this weekend, it's going to be tough for anybody in the Pac-12 specifically to rival them. So we'll obviously see what happens down the stretch for both these teams. Again, get out to some of their games. They're a lot of fun. I mean, we're a little biased for ASU softball just because of the run they had last season.
They're just so fun, though.
They are fun. It's a fun team. It's fun vibes. Go check them out. Guys, another thing that is fun vibes is 4 Peaks. Their 8th Street Pub is an absolute vibe. And if speed and adrenaline is, well, your speed, the Beer Can Derby is on February 25th at the 4 Peaks 8th Street Pub in Tempe. Kit pickups are open now, so if you want to show us you got the fastest beer can in the valley, sign up through 4peaks.com/events. You do got to be 21 years or older to enjoy 4 Peaks responsibly. Guys, 4 Peaks. Since Shawn's not here,
get it in you.
Get it in you.
You're talking about speed. Sometimes speed is a good thing. Sometimes, when you're late to work, you got to be fast.
Yeah.
But sometimes in the bedroom, it's not a good thing. Sometimes you want, to have that extra time, not just for you, but your partner as well. Yeah. I'm not out here saying I'm Dr. Endurance, but sometimes I'm like
Dr. Endurance.
Dr. Endurance. Sometimes I'm like the Flash.
Okay.
Genuinely. And it's
you're in, you're out.
Bellagio fountains, like just all that. It's not great. Let me tell you guys, ED is nothing to joke about, but you can have some fun with it a little bit.
You can.
What?
You can.
Oh, I thought you said eCam. I was like, well, okay. Roman is here to help. Roman is the digital health clinic for men, addressing a variety of sexual health needs and offering genuine medication that helps achieve and maintain a strong erection. Fellas, no waiting rooms, no hassle, straightforward digital experience from the comfort of your home. And yeah, it's just, sometimes it's just necessary, man. Sometimes I get it. If medication or testing is appropriate, Roman will send it directly to your front door discreetly with free 2-day shipping. To learn more about how you can achieve your personal sexual health goals, go to ro.co/PHNX to get your 20% off your entire first order. That's ro.co/PHNX. Roman,
Get it on you.
Try it. Try it on you.
He said, speed is no joke. Love it. Oh, my goodness. Let's get into ASU hockey. Why don't we? They also had themselves a hell of a weekend. They won both their games, outscored their opponent 13-5. Josh Doan had himself a couple goals. You know, we love Doaner. Dylan Jackson had himself a couple goals. Now, aside from the great weekend that ASU hockey had, it's been, I would say, a down year for Greg Powers. Greg Powers and company. And there's only a few weeks left in the regular season. So I'm curious from your perspective. Obviously, this is year one of Mullet. I think there were some pretty high expectations for this team. It's been a down year. What do you want to see from them and just from this group in general with only a couple series left?
I mean, just have fun. You have Fairbanks next, and Alaska Fairbanks, where you went to Alaska and you lost both those games. And that was their series before this one against Lindenwood, which they swept. So they got swept and then swept. Getting another sweep here would be nice. 4-game winning streak. But overall, just have fun and be like not even necessarily competitive. Obviously, you want to compete, but just enjoy this, because the opportunity you have at ASU right now with a new stadium, so much going on around you, is great. But the only way to take advantage of it is by attracting recruits and attracting other people. So winning games is awesome. And, you know, a tournament appearance would have been great. Don't think it's happening. But as long as you can just make this place look as awesome as it is and how cool of an experience as it is with an NHL team playing at the same rink you're playing in, I think that's going to help a lot. So just market the shit out of it. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it.
It goes a long way. And I think, to your point about Mullet Arena and, you know, like, you want to make this place an attractive destination for recruits across the country. And one thing that I've been super impressed with ASU hockey versus some other sports, right? And again, I know Mullet's new, but 16 of 16 in terms of selling out the student section this season, which I don't think can be said about any sport at ASU. So, like, that is something that I think is building with the new arena, with this, just a culture, right, with ASU hockey that I think a lot of other programs can learn from or just take value in. And that goes a long way. So obviously you want ASU hockey to have some fun down the stretch. You'd love for them to pick up a few more wins, get above 500 before the season actually does end. But what I want to see is, I just want to see them go an entire season of sellouts at Mullet, right? Especially in that student section. It goes a long way.
It's a good tagline for recruits, too.
It is, absolutely. I don't know how many more home contests they have, but if they can go like 20 of 20 and selling out the student section in year one, when it was just like a 500 team, like, that says a lot about what you're building at ASU in terms of it being a quote-unquote hockey school or whatever you want to call it. So I would love for them to obviously win out, but my priority isn't even necessarily with the team in general. It's with the students and the fans, just going out to support, something that's being built here. So that goes a long way. Aside from ASU hockey, ASU basketball, they only had one game this weekend, but it was a massive win over Utah, right? And there were a couple of teams in the Pac that decided they wanted to drop some games. What was it? Oregon dropped another game
to Washington State last night, which is very, very big for ASU. And Utah's schedule. So here's can you pull up Utah's schedule? I believe they go at UCLA, then at USC, or maybe at home again. At USC?
They're home against UCLA and USC. Then they're at
Colorado. So Colorado's a sneaky one where they could, if ASU, basically all ASU needs to do is win one of these three games, and they will almost for sure, unless Utah somehow sweeps or wins two, and you lose all three, you have the tiebreaker. Got to make sure to get that 4 seed, because if you get that 4 seed, man, an extra day in Vegas, you know, you're playing a team like a Washington State, who you've already beaten, and they've already beaten you, but whatever. You're playing a team like a Washington. You're playing a team maybe even like an Oregon State that sneaks past in that first round, or in that second round. And then you're on to the semifinals already, and anything can happen at that point. So that bye isn't just because, it's first round bye. No, it's because this is almost your only path into March Madness now, unless you can look. They're back.
Magic.
They're back at the next 4 out right now. They're right under North Carolina, who's fucking 15 and like 12,
Yeah, they're not great.
Which is just ridiculous. Charleston and a couple other teams, they're right there underneath them. And if they keep slipping, ASU would just need to win 1 or 2 of these games. 1 or 2 of these games to even have a shot of being on that close to the bubble.
Dude, if you could win 2, that would go such a long way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It
The
would.
LA schools, like I'll be real. I don't think they beat U of A.
Brother,
Are you calling your shot?
I think they have a better chance of beating U of A than they have UCLA.
Really, they just play UCLA so well. I feel like
They do, but I think UCLA is always going to have that extra oomph behind them. I think U of A, dude, like we've seen their games where they're just weird. We've seen their games where Tubelis just doesn't do anything. We've seen their games where Kirk Reese shoots 0 for 9 from the field, and then they don't have a facilitator. We've seen their games where Ballo gets into foul trouble. Like they have a ton of weaknesses. I mean, every college basketball team does this year, but they have a ton of weaknesses, and ASU, I think, matches up pretty well.
Really, that was my next question. Do you think they match up better against U of A than UCLA?
For X's and O's, obviously not, because of just lack of
size.
But from a depth perspective, fuck yeah, they do. What I don't, Bobby.
See what we got here.
Can we please run this 9 to 10 to 11 man rotation that we do, and just press the whole game? We have bodies.
Yeah.
You know,
and it looks good, dude. Their press looks so good.
And freaking, you're afraid of Ballo and Tubelis. Tubelis actually can run the floor pretty well. Ballo can't, but they're big, they're large, they're slower. Put Dev Cambridge on one of them, and you'll be fine.
You got to get going early. Right, there you go. Love the little bit of an ask from Bobby there. You look at the standings right now. UCLA at number 1 in the conference, 14-2 conference record. They're undefeated on the road. They've had a hell of a season this year. Arizona 13-4 in conference. Right now they'd have the number 2 seed.
Are
USC
they still undefeated on the road and at home?
UCLA.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Because weren't their only losses were at neutral site games?
Right now UCLA is undefeated. Oh no. I take it back. They're undefeated at home. They're 7-2 on the road. Okay. But they are on a 6-game win streak. Arizona, 13-4 in conference. They have the number 2 seed. USC, 11-5. Now, USC has a tough, I believe they've got a sneaky tough schedule. Or maybe I'm tripping. I think there is a chance where USC loses out here.
Well, read the folks their schedule.
They've got at Colorado, at Utah. Utah is at a point where that's going to be a must-win game for them. And then they are at home against number 7 Arizona, and then they finish up the season with
at
ASU.
Home against number 25 Arizona State.
At 9 p.m. Pac-12 after dark to close up the season. That game right there could very well be for the number 4 seed.
9 p.m. our time?
9 p.m. our time.
You just ruined the rest of my life.
Right? Yeah, 9 p.m.
Oh, my God. Wait, is that on Saturday?
Can people stop making tip-off times past, 7?
March 4th. I bet that's a Saturday.
It's got to be a Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday, March 4th.
What are we doing?
But that game is going to mean a lot.
Until ASU drops 2 in a row and Utah wins 2 in a row, and then we're going to be like, this game is pointless.
How hungry is Bobby going to be at that point?
Bobby's going to be starving.
Bobby lied.
I don't know how he does it. But
is there any way he makes it to a 9 p.m. tip-off without eating?
He's done it before. So he says. But don't sleep on Oregon and Washington State, right? Especially if ASU and Utah drop these next 2 games. You've got Washington State that's 8-9 in conference. Oregon's 9-8 in conference. Are you asleep? That's such a good sleepy noise that you do.
Oregon is fried Peking duck.
They're not fried Peking duck, considering they finished the season with Oregon State, Cal, and Stanford. They finished the season with the 3 worst teams in conference.
Yeah, but they're Peking duck.
That doesn't mean shit in the Pac-12.
What's their conference record?
They're only a game back. They're 9-8.
I thought they were 2 now.
9-8. You imagine they're going to be favored in all 3 of these games. Let's say they finish 12-8.
Really fun.
Oregon State, Cal, and Stanford. Stanford's sneaky, but still, it's going to be an absolute race.
Oregon State's a rivalry
for those final spots.
Oh, sure.
So, predicting the last 3 for ASU, you have them winning what? One of the last 3?
Give me 2.
Give me 2.
Give me 2.
And is it the U of A game?
The U of A.
Wow, that is a ballsy pick. I'm gonna go ASU finishing. I'll go 2-1 with you, but I'm gonna say they beat UCLA and USC.
We can't both say it.
They sweep the LA schools on the road.
Okay, now I only have them beating USC.
Oh, fuck you.
We can't both say it.
Why not?
Then
It's different wins.
Then we seem delusional.
We are delusional.
Yeah, we are delusional.
But that has
They're
nothing
sweeping.
to do. They're winning all three.
Yeah, they're actually winning the whole damn thing. I got them on draft.
Don't even bother.
I got them on the DraftKings Sportsbook at plus 18,000 today.
Did you really?
Yep.
That's crazy. That's
That's
value.
Those are their odds to win the whole thing.
What is it?
Plus 18,000. So you throw $100, you win 18K.
Oh, just throw 10
to win 1,800.
Yeah.
Why not 1 to win 180?
Why not 1 million?
Why not Burrito Express?
Get it in
Burrito
ya.
Express. Fantastic burritos today. Fantastic burritos yesterday. Fantastic burritos tomorrow.
We're on back-to-back. Are we going to go 3 days in a row?
I once went 4 straight days of eating Burrito Express. I'm probably going to go 5 this week. Because what I do, hear me out.
Yup.
It's already a perfect burrito, but every morning, almost every morning. Look, I grew up in Scottsdale. I'm white. I eat avocados a lot. So I like to put them in my burritos. In the Burrito Express burritos when I reheat them. Unreal.
How do you put avocados? Like you just chop it and like take a bite and then put an avocado in it? Are you talking about when you make burritos?
Oh, dude, you are sometimes.
No, I'm good. Like you're eating avocado and you have a burrito that's already made.
I'm not just eating avocado. I'm putting the avocado in the burrito, like I just said.
How are you putting it in a burrito that is already folded?
Oh, I don't know. You can unwrap it.
That was my question. Then you unwrap your burritos and then rewrap them.
So. How you wrap a burrito? There's an edge on the.
I know. I've eaten burritos.
So all you have to do is flap that part open without getting to the insides of it, and just smear the avocado.
Why not just use like guac and put guac on top of the burrito? Couldn't you do that without unwrapping?
But then I have to make guac,
or just buy guac.
No,
you buy avocados.
Store-bought guac is fine.
It is fine.
Fresh avocado is unreal.
Honestly, guys, to eat Burrito Express, you don't need anything other than the salsa they give you and the shirt on your back.
You do need your mouth. Well, not if you have a friend pick up Burrito Express.
That is true.
For you.
That is very true.
You could be completely naked.
Okay.
Haven't had Naked Express yet. No Naked Burrito Express yet.
On that note, guys, buy a $25 Burrito Express gift card and you're going to get a free burrito. Head over to your nearby Burrito Express location today. Burrito Express.
Shower burrito.
Get it in you.
Shower burrito. That's a Naked Express. You know what like the worst feeling is?
When your back hurts.
When your back hurts, but also when you're like you had a long day, like I'm gonna say this like I've done it like yard work. I've never done yard work. Again, white guy from Scottsdale. I didn't have to do chores. But when you're like, okay, let's say I want to go play basketball. No, barely any chores.
What? That's crazy.
Just because you're from Scottsdale doesn't mean your parents wouldn't make you do chores. Is that like a thing?
I meant like labor, like outside, like no.
Okay, but like, is that a
like
thing?
mowing the lawn and shit?
Like, I feel like if I lived in Scottsdale, my dad would have made me mow the yard still.
There's no lawn. There's just rocks. What?
I feel like if I lived in Scottsdale, my dad would have still made me mow the yard.
We don't have a yard.
Rake the rocks.
Well, that's just dumb.
I did have to sweep. Okay, I did chores.
Raking is important, Totri.
All I was saying was when you're outside and you're sweaty, putting your sweaty back on leather, that kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
But what if the leather's super comfy?
More furniture? Is
More
that where you're
furniture.
going with this?
More furniture for less.
They've got the comfiest furniture.
They've got the comfiest
in
furniture
the valley.
In the valley.
Guys, whether your back hurts or whether it's in tip-top shape, go check them out, guys. You guys can save big on the best furniture in the valley when you head to morefurniture.com. I know Shawn is at home with his cold, with his gallon of OJ, sitting on his More Furniture
He already
couch.
finished that, probably.
Well, he got another one.
Already?
Yeah, he said he was going home to get another one.
Nice.
So he's definitely watching the show for More Furniture.
Everyone's acting like I just was a fucking pampered like child.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
King Joffrey.
That's what you make.
I meant like I never had to go like cut down trees and mow.
No, well, normal kids don't fucking. They're not lumberjacks.
I know. I meant like
I like Swiffer the
have
floor.
to mow the lawn.
Okay.
I like Swiffer the floor for like $5.
You gotta take trash
I had
out.
to take the trash out. I was more saying yard work outside. That's all I was saying.
We had to specify.
Okay, sorry.
Gosh,
Yard
you sounded very King Joffrey-esque there.
LTC, please, can you get me some cool graphic T-shirts? I don't have a lot of them anymore because they don't fit me because I'm fat as fuck.
Guys, morefurniture.com. Go
Get on
it. There you go. Okay, that's not. Oh, he's holding it down. So, a question that Shawn and I had while you and Jacob were just chilling, I guess, in the studio earlier. If you had a choice between knowing how you're going to die or when you're going to die, what are you going with here?
Wasn't there something?
There was something earlier that I changed to this question.
Okay, because I was like, what?
There was Hogwarts questions.
That's what I thought. I'm kind of glad you went here instead.
Well, I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, so.
But you can't prevent it either way.
No.
Okay.
Like, yeah, if you choose to know when you're going to die or how you're going to die.
Definitely when.
Definitely when?
Yeah.
Why?
Because how doesn't do anything. Because then I'm just scared. Like, if it's like, you're going to die from a natural disaster, I'd be like, oh, fuck. And every single day I'd look up.
No, because I feel like if you know, let's say it is natural disaster, right? Like, you know when the weather's going to be.
No.
What do you mean,
That's the point of a natural disaster.
When was the last time they guessed a monsoon in Arizona right?
Also,
okay, dude.
The day after tomorrow, they were just like, oh, shit. This is bad. And then everyone's like, ah, and then it happens. Like, no, they're not like, hey, guys, the world's going to fucking explode tomorrow. Watch out.
Well, then everybody dies.
That's not. When is the right answer?
What is your, let's say you're given a week to live. What do you do?
I'm going to. I'm turning everything off. I'm saying goodbye to everybody I love, and I'm just.
See, so that was an interesting thing that I saw on social media. Is like if you were given, let's say you're given a week to live, or the question was hypothesized or brought up of like you've got 1 day to live. What are you doing with it, and who are you telling? And there was an answer of I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah, that's what I was just
because you're putting so much, like you're just destroying their lives pretty much.
I don't think I'd tell anybody. I have 1 day to live. Psych, I lied. I'm fine.
I know if Shane had 1 day to live, that wouldn't keep him off the DraftKings Sportsbook app. He'd probably just increase his bets.
Well, can we talk about the worst ways to die?
Sure, let's talk about the worst ways to die.
Well, chat, what is the worst way to die?
I mean, we talked about being buried alive is awful.
Yeah.
Being eaten.
I think being on fire while drowning is the worst.
I just don't see a scenario where that happens.
You're on an oil rig and it goes up in flames and then oil fire underneath the water. You ever seen oil fire underneath the water? Oil fire underneath the water.
But I'd rather burn to death than freeze to death.
That's what I said.
Why?
Oh, no. I would rather freeze to death than burn to death.
No.
Wait,
Freezing to death
I would rather
takes
burn to
so
death.
much longer. If you burn to death, your nerves are gone in like 5 seconds.
But there's a chance that you can survive when you freeze.
No, but we're assuming you're dying here.
Yeah, but there's a chance.
You've got no choice in the situation that you're dying.
Freezing to death would be fucking awful. It would be atrocious. Getting eaten by rats would be an awful way to go.
What's like the most epic way to die? I think defending somebody from a shark.
No, why a shark? If you're going like animal defense, it's definitely.
No, because you can win for a little bit against the shark.
No, says whom? And what shark are you going against?
I can win against a shark for at least a little bit.
Defending somebody against like a gator?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Dude. Gators, that's one of the worst ways.
But that's an epic.
Hey, Totri, do you know about the death roll?
Yeah.
Fucking no, thank you.
Okay, but a shark is like less painful?
Yeah.
In what world?
They probably just bite your neck. We're good.
It just bite your. What's stopping the gator from doing it?
No, the gator's death rolling you. It's bringing you underneath.
Ooh, a bear. A bear's a good like epic story.
It's bringing you underneath its like log layer, and then it's gonna be like you're gonna die, so I'm gonna start talking, and then start talks to you.
Ooh.
And you're like, oh shit, these gators are fucked.
You know,
up.
be fucked up way to go. Beavers. Getting mauled by beavers.
Mauled?
Mauled by beavers.
How do you get mauled by a beaver?
I don't know. Wild beavers. Seen Cocaine Bear?
Insect death? Not
insect death? Like, are we talking?
Insect death? Sneaky good band name?
I'm pretty sure there's probably a band name called Insect Death. So insect death of like, we're talking
like 1,000 ants.
Oh,
that's not enough. Like 1,000,000 ants.
I think 1,000 ants would be enough.
You're taking a shark over a gator? Yeah, I would much rather get killed by a shark than a gator. A gator?
No, but we're talking for like epicness.
Oh.
To be like, oh, Shane died by.
Oh yeah, the gator's fucking.
That's why I went gator. What do you mean?
Well, it depends on the type of shark. If it's a great white shark and it's a little baby gator.
Have you ever seen a little baby gator?
Yes, I've seen a little baby.
Okay,
gator.
That's not a little baby.
Yeah, they're like this big.
A gator.
Yes, a gator. There are such things as baby alligators,
Yes,
Coach.
dude.
Why did you say gator like it was only like
Gator.
adults? A gator. You mean a gator? Hey, the gator's down here. There's some of them are babies. Death by Jacob's baby. No thanks. Death by DraftKings Sportsbook app. That can't exist because it's
No,
an
but
app.
Life by DraftKings Sportsbook app can.
Exactly.
Guys, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details. I don't know if you bet on the All-Star game. I almost made a little shmoney with a little parlay that I cooked up that had Matt McClung winning the dunk contest, Dame winning the three-point contest, and then I had Team LeBron.
Why?
Because he's
Absolutely the worst All-Star weekend.
He's
of
8-0
any sport.
while he's been the captain.
But why would you bet? Why wouldn't you just keep those two?
Because I was a little stinker.
Yeah.
what
I
I
make
do.
straight bets.
Smart man.
Yeah. Mac McClung. I bet him twice actually
Shmoney.
when he was at plus 110 and plus 105 on the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Did you see he made more money
Yeah.
this weekend than he did so far in his career?
You know what really pisses me off? This is like when you have a favorite band as like when you're like 16 and like they've been making great music for 4 years. Then
Nobody knows none of their shit.
Then all of a sudden they just explode. And I'm not like the type to be like, I heard them first. Like I don't care about that. But it's more of just like now people are appreciating this. That's me with Mac McClung. Like people were like, I ain't hear about this guy before. This is probably the first time anyone's heard his name like on TNT. I'm like, bro, Mac McClung's been my dude. Like AAU basketball mixtapes on Ball Is Life, I used to watch all the time of him. I was a huge fan of him at Georgetown. Texas Tech was like my favorite college basketball team to bet on for like the 3-year window when he was there for a year. When he played a national championship game, mind you.
Is he going to do anything in the NBA outside of dunk?
No. He's undersized and he can't shoot the ball very well.
Yeah. Matt McClung. It's a slam dunk. Just like the DraftKings Sportsbook app, guys. Shawn in the chat. ASU Gymnastics just beat number 4 Utah. Hey, ASU Athletics, it's a wagon right now, guys. And if you want to go watch some of those games where they're catching dubs, go get your tickets on Game Time. Save up to 60% on tickets when you buy tickets last minute. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Shane, that's going to do it.
Des Cambridge. That went in.
Yeah. Nothing but net, baby. Guys, if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow.
What, Jakob?
You were open and you missed it, which is fitting. If I put a hand on your face, you would have made it.
That's true. That's very
Or
true.
just step back.
F Mac McClung. Oh, because of Georgetown.
Yeah. Guys, if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX _Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony _Totri. You can follow Shane at Shane D. If you could follow the man with a cold, Shawn _DePause.
Oh, well, you didn't say at, so that kind of threw me off. You want to just do that again?
Yeah. All of it?
Just the Shawn.
Okay. You guys can follow Shawn DePause at Shawn _DePause.
Buying his second gallon of orange juice, but only when he's sick, as always.
We'll see you guys Wednesday at 2 p.m. to talk more ASU athletics, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Peace.